It's 3 o'clock, Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. I'm going to call this meeting to order of the Board of Public Works, the City Council Chambers in Peru, Indiana. We have a roll call.
Don Sturt.
Here.
Jeff Butts.
Here.
Jim Walker.
Here.
First item will be the reading and approving of the minutes from May 7th meeting.
Make the motion, we suspend the rules and approve the minutes as transcribed and presented to us.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item on our agenda is to amend the agenda today to include the pension, monthly city council payment, and crossing guard payroll, and to add a request by Bob Huber to the new business section. Do we have a motion to amend?
I have a question.
Yes.
Second.
I believe the statutory requirement is 72 hours. How do we publish this agenda? And
Oh, you don't have to. The agenda, the notice of the hearing is 48 hours.
48
at
hours,
least.
okay.
There is nothing, I mean, it's not a vote for money. It's not a vote for fines, fees, penalties. So there's no requirement as to
Right.
amending the agenda. I mean, it can be done.
Why does the statute require 48 hours then? And I guess
48-hour notice of the public
of the
meeting.
public hearing. Okay. My next question is, how do we publish the agenda and/or the changes?
In December, we let the Tribune and the public know when the regular scheduled meetings are.
So
And
we
then-
don't publish what's on the agenda?
And then
No.
the agenda is posted outside and inside the door. It was posted last Wednesday, and
Okay.
it was updated first thing this morning with
Okay.
the change.
Which there is no 48-hour requirement to do that.
To amend?
Correct.
Well, my question would be whether there's a requirement. That's the first. The second would be whether it's today's items or whatever. I'm not sure that it's fair not to give, I don't know who looks at these, but there's no notice given to an agenda if somebody has input, if we amend it and do it the same day. So legally, you're telling me we're under no obligation.
Correct.
It's just business
Correct.
tactic that would be.
It gets posted outside of the council chambers in advance of the meeting. If you need to make an amendment to the agenda, you most certainly are free to do that. We do that with the council regularly.
That's my only question.
I need a motion to amend.
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item of business is the approval of claims, payment of claims for May 21st in the amount of $348,008.54. Any discussion? If not, need a motion to approve.
Motion made to approve the payment of claims for May 21st for $348,008.54.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Next item is the payment of the April state and local withholding. This was May 14th in the amount of $25,228.06. Any discussion on that? If not, need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the payment of the state and local withholding dated May 14th for $25,228.06.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Next item is regular payroll, May 17th, in the amount of $208,434.11. Any discussion regarding regular payroll? If not, need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve regular payroll for $208,434.11 dated May 17th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Our next item is payment of prorated HSA for hires, April 26th, amount of $295.20. Discussion?
Is this for a new employee?
Yes.
Is that what it is? Okay. Motion to approve the additional prorated HSA payment of $295.20 dated April 26th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have a payment of prorated HSA for Lear from May 7th, the amount of $312.93. Discussion?
Motion to make the additional payment of prorated HSA for $312.93 dated May 7th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item is a payment of pension payroll in the amount of $85,504.84 for May 31st. Discussion?
Motion to make the payment of pension payroll for $85,504.84 dated May 31st.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item is payment of the monthly crossing guards and city council payroll in the amount of $6,551 for May 31st. Discussion?
Motion to pay the payroll for the crossing guards for $6,551 even on May 31st.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Under old business, we have none. We have several items under new business. We have a request by Sharon, forgive me if I say this incorrectly, Breitenbach.
Good job.
All right. For Light Up the Night 5K to use the Riverwalk on May 26th from 7 to 11 p.m. Could you come forward, please?
Sure.
Can you tell us about your event?
Sure. It is a fundraiser for the Back to School Festival. And I guess I'll also be doing that agenda item as well. This is our 7th year, not counting COVID. The first 4 years, we did close part of Canal. When they extended the Riverwalk, we stopped doing that. We've just done it on the Riverwalk for the last 3 years. And we've had approval by the Parks Department and then by Ole Olson because we use their area too. For the last 3 years, but this year they sent me back to you folks as well, so here I am.
Okay. So there's no road closure.
Correct.
We do have a waiver signed.
And I wasn't sure if I needed to sign that because it was mostly for road closure, but that's fine.
And I see the application or registration you have clearly states some of the hazards associated with this night run.
Sure.
And they sign off on those as well.
Correct. And we can add anything easily that the city would like added. And even those who've pre-registered, we can always do a short addendum and have them sign day of too. So we're flexible. We appreciate y'all.
Do you require anything from the city for this event?
We do not.
Do we have any more questions for Sharon? If not, do we have a motion to approve a request?
I am not sure that they need our, since we're not doing anything, and we're not closing roads, but in good faith, I will make the motion that we approve the request for the use of the riverfront walkway as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for
I
coming
appreciate
today. Our next request is from Jay Kendall for closure of Broadway from Main Street to Fifth Street on May 27th, Memorial Day. Jay is not here, but his request says closed at Broadway from Main to Fifth, west side of the courthouse from 10:45 a.m., I'm assuming, to 11:45 a.m. on May 27th, Memorial Day. So this is a 1-hour closure for Broadway. Does anybody know what the stated event is?
I believe it's when they give their
entails?
address, their Memorial Day address, they give a speech and everything and invite veterans and whatnot.
Will this be on courthouse steps?
Historically, I
Close to the
believe that's where it's
courthouse,
been.
Will there be events in the road? Does anybody know?
No, I'll tell you, I think a lot of it is because
Parking.
when someone's up there speaking, you're up there supporting the veterans, people go by, rev their engines, roll their tires, do something to interfere with it. And there are some people who are standing out in the street because of the lack of seating on the sidewalks. So it does make it more safe and more respectful to the event if you don't have traffic going by there interfering with it, so.
We haven't done it for probably 5 years.
Pardon?
Last time was like 2019 when we closed it, so, yeah, they haven't requested it.
Yeah, I don't think it was closed last year.
It
was
wasn't last year?
No.
They
Or
haven't re- The last time, I think, is I remember it specifically because that's the year we bought that side-by-side.
Okay.
So we was there that day.
Well, I know them in the beginning, when he asked for that, that was the reason
Yeah.
for doing it, so.
Too much noise primarily,
Mhm.
and people spill out.
Yep. I think it's a good thing to do, and it's more safe for those attending the event, so. I would be in favor of their request.
And we do have a waiver sign for this on file? Any issues from police or fire for this? No? So we have a motion to approve.
Yes.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item is a request by Bob Huber for police escort on June 8th from the Phi Delta Kappa charity ride at noon from the alley behind Phi Delts to Wabash Road. So we're just looking for an escort to get the motorcycles to Wabash Road and then
To the east edge of town.
Chief Feller?
That should not be a problem. We've done this escort for the Five Belts several times.
Okay.
We have arrangements for that to happen.
No road closures involved in this? Are you going to request a escort coming back or no?
No,
Okay, just leaving town.
correct.
All right.
Again, I have to ask, do we really need to approve the police escort?
I think we should if somebody is requesting to use, the city for use of this private event. I think they should come before the Board of Works and ask for permission.
In the past, that's, ever since we started it 10 years ago, that we always had to ask for the escort through the board of Works.
Okay.
Chief Feller, under your SOPs, is that something you require?
I don't believe that that's actually listed in our SOPs.
I don't believe so either. I think that it's just a service like
Mhm.
unlocking your car or aiding, if we're not closing roadways. And it's not, I'm not saying it against the event, I'm just saying that I think that it's possibly a little bit redundant to have to do that.
So you're putting this in the same as an escort for a funeral kind of thing?
Correct.
Okay.
And it really would be very similar to that same type thing.
And when that escort is requested, how do they contact PPD for that? Do they just,
They contact dispatch. Dispatch will dispatch somebody to one of the funeral homes to
okay,
do that funeral escort.
all right. And there's no form required for any of that? So in this event, going forward, we probably would not need that either?
Correct.
Okay.
I think
It just puts people on notice, lets the police department know ahead of time that, okay, they're going to want us to
Mhm.
the
do
funeral
this.
homes understand that if we don't have officers available, that they're kind of on their own. So I think this allows us to make sure that we can prepare to provide them with the service that they need.
Okay. And I would make a motion that we approve Bob Hughes' request for the police escort for the charity ride.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item is a request by John Schwartz for closure of West Fifth Street from Brownell to Walnut for the 36th annual block party on June 30th from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. It says 36th annual, so I assume that this has been granted previously. Is anybody aware of that?
Many
Chief?
times.
Many times?
Yeah.
Okay. And they require blockades from the city. Did you get a waiver signed?
I was hoping to catch him today,
Okay.
but I will get in contact with him.
And should we request anything from the neighbors on this kind of a event?
Most of them are already
It is
there.
the neighbors.
Pardon me?
It's a block party, all the neighbors are in on it.
Okay.
It's just it's a barbecue. They close the road on both sides of their block. Everybody on both sides is invited. The kids have a good time playing in the street because it's fun, because they don't normally get to do that. And at the end of the day, they move the blockades, the city comes by, they pick them up. It's very respectful.
Is there anything going to be there such as bounce houses or anything that might block the roadway should the fire department need to come through?
Not that I recall, but I can't, I'm not part of the
Okay.
event. I just live a block away and I go, oh, look, there's the barricades. They're having that this weekend every year.
Okay.
Based on the fact that we don't have a waiver of signatures on the waiver and that they have plenty of time, the event's not till the end of June according to this, I would make the motion that we table until we obtain all the proper documentation.
Second. We'll table this until the next Board of Works meeting. Our next request is from Sherry Lashnowski to have a back-to-school festival, closure of 7th Street from Broadway to Clown Alley on June 27th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m.
I can handle that.
Okay? Can you come forward?
Sure. I think I'm the only one coming forward. I'm a little self-conscious here. I'm so sorry, dear.
So what can you tell us about this event?
It is, I think, our 15th year. The road closure is just a precaution. We do not use the road. They line up ahead of time because the backpack giveaway. So they just close from Broadway to just Clown Alley there. In the past, we've had barricades at both ends, and we place people there in case the fire department were to need to come through. We don't go in the road. It's just because there's kids are lined up there in case they go out. But it's just a backpack giveaway. We give away 500 and some backpacks, free haircuts.
Okay. 2 hours, 12 to 2.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, as soon as we get them in the building, we move the blockade. So it's really only once the line starts to get out there.
This is the first year requesting the blockade?
No, we've done it for 15 years. We
And
done it
the-
at the Riverwalk
The street's been
probably
closed
10
off?
years ago. Correct.
Okay, all right.
Who is the organization that puts this on?
It's done by several different churches, mostly that are on the team that does it.
So it's, same question, do we have a waiver signed by someone?
I don't think we do, but I'm happy to sign one.
No, So we would obviously need that as well, the waiver to be signed.
Who would you be representing then? I mean, what, is it individual? Are you the individual putting it on, or who are you, what are you signing here? Is there a group
They
that?
formed a team. I suppose Calvary Church probably started it, but there's lots of churches and individuals involved. The library comes. There's a lot of organizations involved in it. We just have a team every year and we get together stuff and give word back.
There's no individual host or no
No,
actual,
correct.
this organization puts us on. And it goes on inside the circus building?
Correct.
Chief Feller, Chief Dane, any comments, issues? Todd? Nothing?
Still want cones for indoors? I usually leave cones, you guys make.
Yes, please.
Motion to approve request by Sherry, and I'm not even going to try to say her name, to close West 7th between Broadway and Clown Alley.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think you're done now.
I do. Thank you so much.
The next item on our agenda is a request by Gary Maggart for an East 3rd half block party. Closure of between 400 and 450 East 3rd Street to the east-west alley on Lincoln Street on June 15th from 1 to 6 p.m. Gary, could you come forward, please? Sure. So as I looked at this on our mapping system, tell me if I'm correct here, but you're going to close down 3rd Street from 400 East 3rd?
Well, my address there at Smith Tax Service is 452.
Okay, yes.
And the street on Lincoln Street would be between probably 435 East 3rd, and mine is 452. What I'm requesting is for that portion of Lincoln from 3rd Street to the alley going north, east-west alley, to be blocked off for 1 to 6.
And also 3rd Street?
Well, no, 3rd Street would not be.
Okay.
Going east and west would not be. I just tried to give that proximity of where it would be. The only portion that would be blocked off would be Lincoln Street from East 3rd, there at 452, where my office is, north to the east-west alley,
To the
which would
alley.
be half a block.
Okay.
And it's for a graduation party for my grandson, and it would probably take place, the party is scheduled from 2 to 5, and I thought if we did it, get a time to set everything up, and people will be entering our back portion of our property there from the west. And right now, we have approximately 100 to 125 people invited, and just try to keep, make a little easier access to the property.
All right, so the section of Lincoln Street from 3rd Street to the alley,
The east-west alley.
the east-west
correct.
alley, which is right behind the ice cream stand there.
No, it's right behind my house.
Right, I understand. But the rest of that block, I think there's one home and then the ice cream stand.
Yes,
So we're going to be blocking access to that business from that direction, correct?
Only from 3rd Street.
From 3rd Street. And I'm also have, I guess, a question about parking if you have that many people coming.
Well, I don't
Is this
think
gonna be
100
street parking?
100 people are going to show up at
Okay.
2 o'clock. I'm hoping to, people be coming in and out, between those that 3-hour time period. And
Okay.
I'm just going to throw this out just because of concern, not only for Gary's party, but for the ice cream stand. Would it be more equitable for both if, obviously, 125 or even 50 people can't park in front of your house or the
Right.
house? That in the area in front of your house, if we made that, instead of blocking the roadway for cars turning and going, maybe, but we made that a no parking area for the, you're not going to have an event in the road, are you? Or are you?
no.
And so to proclaim that as just a no parking with barricades and things like that would maybe allow you the freedom in front of your house and adjacent to your house, but at the same time not impede their business if we were to block that. Is that something that is a feasible thought?
Yes. Yes.
And the city could provide, I'm not speaking for this. Well,
My
yes, I am.
vehicles will be off the street,
Right.
so they would have access to the ice cream parlor off Main
At the
Street.
same time, the ice cream customers wouldn't be blocking the front of your house. Or
Right. Well, that's pretty
I understand that
irrelevant.
long term. I'm talking about for the day.
For the day, correct. And I'm thinking, for 5 hours max, taken up, if that were to be blocked off, maybe 10 parking spaces. I'm assuming that's about what would be there.
So what would we do, bring cones and drop them off?
Cones or barricades.
We're
For
not-
just the parking areas. So
Yeah.
through traffic could still go through on the roadway for that 10-foot or whatever it is there on both sides.
We can use cones and those cone bars.
Okay.
Because if you just put cones there, more than likely it'll be, we can squeeze in there.
All right.
Correct.
We close it.
At the same time, I would suggest maybe if we have that with the police department or even Todd, that we do by Border Works directive or police order, so that, I know it's just a piece of laminated paper, but it might serve everybody's purpose better, so if
Actually,
someone
have those
doesn't.
signs that say, by order of police, that would stick on the cones if we wanted.
Would that satisfy your request?
No, I can't hardly hear what.
Oh,
I
okay.
heard something about cones and police order, but I couldn't.
Yeah, the plan, or what we're discussing, would be to not block the street completely, but to prohibit people from parking on either side of the street except for coming to your event, so that they would still have access on Lincoln, north and south, as opposed to blocking the street off.
So they're going to come through, if we have barricades or cones there, they're still going to have traffic coming through.
I mean, your concern is for parking for your guests, or, because you're not going to have...
Either or. People's going to be coming in, they're going to be entering on the west side of my property
Okay,
to
yes,
have access to where the party's going to be held.
yes.
Still, you're asking for a part of Third Street to be shut down, right?
No,
You're
no
not?
part of
No.
Third Street.
Lincoln Street.
Just
No
just
part of
Lincoln
Third
here.
From Third Street, right there, where Lincoln Street intersects Third, to the alley midway on Lincoln Street,
Mm-hmm.
right there.
Yeah, and your request was to block that section, and we're trying to find a way to accommodate your request, but also not interfere with the ice cream parlor to the north.
And I understand that,
Huh?
Don. I'm going to be perfectly frank with you. Whatever decision you three fellows make, I will accept it. May not like it, but I will. Me and my neighbors are put out 7 months out of the year. Can't find a parking space, can't get in our driveway. I just like to have 3 hours, 5 hours max, from the time they set it up till we take it down, to where my guests could come in and have access to my grandson's graduation party.
Okay.
And that's about as blunt as I can get.
So how can we accommodate that, Todd? Can we put a barricade at the alley and allow them to come in off of 3rd Street and say no through access, or no drive-through, so that it allows his guests to come in?
You know, if we look at this, like, you know, when they do block parties, he can
Are we still
block
stuck on
this
not
section
not
off.
closing Lincoln? Or are we okay with coming across at the alley?
My concern is we only close half of Lincoln without a
Because we're gonna
through
get-
traffic.
you're gonna
What are you
get
going to do
back.
with those cars that turn in
Yeah,
there?
what's-
Now they got to make U-turns and they got
Yeah.
to mess around in the middle. I think we're,
What'll happen is what'll happen, if we do that, then, yeah, they'll do that, or they'll turn that into a parking lot on the other side of it.
Right.
Somebody will be trapped.
Yeah.
You know? They'll park three across, 3 deep to go to the ice cream store.
I'm trapped every day.
I know.
I'm trapped every day.
One thing is that he wants to.
Or they could possibly go up the alleys to get out.
Lincoln Street open as block
Yeah.
3rd Street.
Do that.
So
You have
just-
access going to the west, there at the old Lincoln School Apartments, either to the south or the north to get out.
Pushing the barricades over
Do
the
that.
park.
Yeah, we're not closing off the alley.
That's what I said.
Right, no.
We're not on the
no,
north
no,
side of the alley.
Not the east-west alley, not.
Yeah.
Be a hell of a lot simpler. People can just loop around that block.
Would you be acceptable to us blockading 3rd Street from Lincoln to halfway down for your parking and leave Lincoln open? I mean, we close streets down for block parties
Well,
all the time, you know?
I've seen that.
Yeah,
But it appears to me that your concern is the business, not my celebration.
we're trying to find a solution
Gary?
to it,
Gary,
Gary.
if you're looking at it, if you take that section of 3rd Street in front of your house and you're going to the east,
To the east.
yeah, block that off. I mean, as far as the amount of space you're blocking off, it's the same. If you could block off the alley, but you're leaving Lincoln Street open for business to continue to operate, but take that block of East 3rd and block that off, and it can be for your people who are coming to park or to,
Well, I agree with that, Jim. But what about the residents living there on that portion of East 3rd Street?
happens
You've
all the
got-
time when we do block closures. I mean, you're going to have that every time you do a block closure.
Yeah, we'd want to get the
Like
approval
I
of the
said
neighbors
earlier.
there.
Like I said earlier, whatever decision you folks make, I will accept it. And like I said earlier, I may not like it, but I will accept it.
Well, let me suggest this. Your party is on the 15th of June. Correct.
Saturday.
So I would propose we table this and give it some more thought about how we can come up with a solution for your request, and then bring it back before the Board of Works at the first Tuesday in June.
When in June?
The first Tuesday.
I will not be here. I'm going on vacation.
Okay.
Like I said, Mayor, whatever decision you make,
Okay.
you folks make the decision, I will accept. I may not like it, but I will accept it,
All right.
okay? Whatever you want to do today is okay with me.
I'll second the motion to table until the meeting in June.
And we will contact you with the decision on this?
What is that date in the first week in June, first Tuesday?
4th, I believe.
Yes, the 4th.
Fourth? Well, I'm leaving the 2nd.
Okay,
So it will carry on, even though I'm not here, it will be addressed by the board.
yes, we will
Okay.
address it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just don't call me when I'm on vacation.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Now, if you, go ahead.
Was there another on there for me?
Yes, I was going to say, stay here, and
Okay,
we
all right.
got you again, Gary.
Okay.
The next request is from Gary Maggart to erect a flagpole on the city lawn. I guess that's the tree lawn between the sidewalk and the street, on Lincoln Street between the east-west alley. So your request for a flagpole in the tree lawn, is this adjacent to your property?
It's on my,
Yeah.
it's on my property,
Okay.
but the city lawn.
And it's in kind of the middle of the half block there between the alley and Third
Not
Street?
quite the middle, I'd say from the east-west alley south, approximately 25 feet off the alley,
Okay. So somewhere in
on the
here,
east side of the street,
on the east side?
on the
yes.
east side, correct.
Yeah. So somewhere in there would be the location.
I am not sure that that's the city, I know the city maintains a right-of-way to the tree lawn, but I believe that that's deeded to
I mean,
the
they-
property owner.
So landowners can't interfere with our easement.
Right.
They shouldn't build structures and whatnot.
Right.
God forbid, we need to get in there, do utility work.
Right.
It's going to come down. It's going to be at your expense.
But that's going to come.
Well,
down
I mean, it's going to come down, but putting it back up would be at your expense.
Whether we approve it or not, it's going to come down if they have to do, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
I understand, I
That's
understand.
actually your property, not the city's.
Right.
It's just that the city maintains a right-of-way for things like that, so I'm not sure that we need to.
What's the height of this pole?
18 feet.
Are there any wires above this location?
Well, there are, but they're well above
Okay.
20 feet, probably, well above 20 feet.
I would defer to the city attorney. Do you think the Board of Works should be involved with that, or do you think that's just a?
If he wanted to plant a tree, we wouldn't be asked.
Exactly. And I don't, I'm trying to think if there needs to be any zoning regulations as far as height requirements and approval.
Flagpole's going to obstruct a lot less than a tree would, probably be shorter and.
Right.
Because I have half dozen trees planted on that tree lawn, through approval of the city. I think Jim knows that. So if they come in, they have to take my trees out as well. That's what you're saying.
Not sure, that would be an expense for you if that right-of-way needed to be maintained. If there needed to be a new sewer line or something like that, or there was a problem with any utility that's in there, and they had to take out any improvements you made. It's your property, but they maintain the right-of-way.
Yeah, I understand that. So if we were to go in and look at it, of course, it would have to be,
You have to do a
811 would call
You
and
need to
locate.
locate and all that
Right.
kind of thing.
Mhm. I mean, we're all in favor of flags and flagpoles. You know, don't misunderstand. I just want to make sure we get the right approvals if in fact we need to approve
And
it.
yes, we do. I understand that.
Let's see. Well, that one's shall not exceed 200 feet. That's in a commercial setting. I would say he's probably safe to do that.
So if he gets a locate before he installs the flagpole, should be okay?
Right, yeah, I think the locate would just, yeah, be beneficial to everybody to have them.
Should someone come down other than the locate to let them know where I want to erect that flagpole? Through the city?
We can have the utilities come and take a look.
Well, I've been through that 100 times.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if I had to get the approval from the board in order to where to place and erect the flagpole. That's, I don't want to dig a hole and then, you can't put it here, you got to put it over somewhere else.
Maybe Haley zoning, just make sure the setbacks are met, which there shouldn't be any in this situation. Now, if it was advertising sign or billboard, obviously, there'd be some issues with that and some requirements, but our zoning does not regulate flagpoles.
Well, my only advertisement for that is United States of America. That's my only advertisement, so.
As long as the bottom, and as long as the bottom of the flag doesn't drop below 8 feet, you're fine. But if it's an 18-foot pole, I'm assuming you'll be good.
It'll be a 5-foot
Yeah.
flag,
So yeah, you'd be fine.
so it should not.
Any more discussion about the flagpole? If not, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve his request.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
So the flagpole's been approved.
Yes, sir. Thanks,
And
Gary.
The road closure will be tabled until June 4th.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Our next item is a request by Chief Dane to grant Nicholas Leffel permanent status with the PFD.
Yes, Board. The Peru Fire Department requests that Nicholas Leffel be granted permanent status with the Peru Fire Department. Mr. Leffel joined the department on May 20th, 2022, and has completed his 2-year probationary period. He is a National Registered EMT, Firefighter 1 and 2, and holds the certification of Instructor 1. Thank you for your consideration.
Motion to grant permanent status for firefighter Nicholas Leffel.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next item is request by Chief Feller to amend the Peru Police Department policies and procedures. Chief?
Good afternoon. This will probably become one of our regular things at most meetings moving forward, probably for the remainder of the year. I'm asking for 4 policies to be approved. I know that I've had some conversations with each of the board members individually about some of these policies. I would point out that the statewide deadly force policy and the statewide defensive tactics training program policy, that is required by the state of Indiana for us to adopt as policy for our departments. I believe the deadline for that is July 1st, so we're trying to get ahead of the curve rather than be behind the curve. And the use of force actually supplements the deadly force policy and would replace, you back that up. It would supplement the deadly force policy with some, and replace our current use of force and kind of update that. And then the vehicle pursuits policy was passed in 2021.
that was also, the verbiage that's in that policy that I've submitted to you is almost identical to the previous policy, other than, quite frankly, I think some redundancies got in at the very end of that through a clerical error. So it is also required by the state of Indiana, so we're just trying to shore that up at this point.
Okay. Any questions or discussion among the board?
Motion to approve the policies that's submitted by Chief Feller, updating the Peru Police Department policies and procedures.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Chief. Next item on our agenda is the opening of the sealed bid for the sale of the Peru Fire Department 2000 American LaFrance ladder truck. It appears we have one bid. It really is a sharp knife. This bid is from Command Fire Apparatus from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They are offering to purchase the truck at a price of $45,000. Does that meet our minimum?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
About 5,000, doesn't it?
I thought we had it in at 45,000, so that is the minimum bid on the truck.
Okay.
And I've had no other interest in the truck, so.
That being our only bid, and it did meet the minimum bid requirement, then I would make a motion that we accept this bid for the sale of this vehicle.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is the opening of the sealed bids for this year's firework display. And it appears we have one bid. This bid is from Foreman Blast Pyrotechnic. Correct me if I'm not stating this properly, but it says $9,500. Okay. That is the bid for the fireworks in McConaughey Park on July 4th, $9,500.
Question for the clerk treasurer, is that a line item in the
Yes.
Board of Works budget? And how much is allowed in that
10.
line? Pardon me?
10,000.
Okay. Did we set a deadline on submittal of that bid? Are we past the deadline
What's that?
for submitting these bids for the fireworks? Are we past the deadline?
Yes.
Make the motion that we accept the bid as presented for the 4th of July fireworks.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Communication, do we have any communication from the department heads, the board, or the audience today? If not, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Meeting's adjourned.